The enterprise customer's life is fraught with frustration. The enabling tools and technologies that we've all pretty much had to put up with are really barriers.
There's a tremendous amount of resource in enterprise expended just to stay where they are. Layers of complexity and legacy that are trapping those enterprises in the past.
Historically, what we did is you get your computer, you install your software, you do your OS, and sure enough, there's a patch that's going to come out.
You're being bombarded by external forces. You feel like your competitors are one step ahead of you.
The next version of the software is going to come out. Oh, now I need more hardware.
That inability to really use platforms and tools to drive the level of connection, commitment, and meaning, sheer unadulterated frustration.
It's complicated.
It requires a disruptive level of thinking to be able to move to the next level. But to be able to succeed today, to be able to increase your cycle time, improve your employee engagement or customer engagement, it does require a massive shift in thinking. And if you don't make that shift on your own, it'll be made for you.
Stantive is really in a position to mitigate and remove that frustration.
Cloud computing, that's like, Dropbox and stuff.
I understand it as maybe sharing information between different devices like computers and iPhones and stuff like that.
It's an online platform for saving photos or documents.
So it's still predominantly, boomers that are making the decision, but there are increasingly millennials present in the influence of those decisions. So people talk a lot about their expectations, but I believe their expectations are based on their assumptions of what is.
Instagram and then share it on Facebook.
So they expect the network to be always available. They expect to be able to do whatever it is on whatever device they chose to get. Because of the absolute prevalence of network everywhere and this contextual idea of device and where I am, they expect to have things better understand them.
So I'll just plug in and electronic transfer and stuff like that.
Cloud computing is basically, it's a method of storage of data and devices on a server that's not at your own computers.
Facebook, I guess, and Twitter, Tumblr.
Most internet owners or website owners are really stuck and beholden to their IT organization in order to get their solutions out in front of their audience. That's a real problem in most organizations. What I really appreciate the most about Orchestra is its ease of use. I mean, literally this drag and drop interface. The first time that I saw that, I got so excited. Orchestra really gives you the ability to empower those people within your organization to not only own the content, but to actually publish it.
We see content as anything that can be consumed in an organization and consolidated and delivered to users. So there's a tremendous focus now on broadening Orchestra's application beyond a lot of the traditional web and even the social web models and into much more robust content that's around business applications.
We're now moved to the cloud. It's much easier. They don't have to maintain that. The success of the product is putting it in the hands of the business.
If we look at our partner Salesforce.com, one of the common things we share with them is this idea of a seamless, multi-tenant, single instance ability to deliver many solutions from a single point, which they call native. So by building 100% natively on Salesforce, what it enables is Orchestra and Salesforce to essentially be one.
The Orchestra CMS platform, in addition to enabling certain behaviors and conversation, actually allows an organization to start to evaluate which of those conversations are the most meaningful. So the idea of being able to go into a native environment such as Salesforce.com and surface through their rich analytics capabilities insight into the meaningful conversations that are taking place, so that you can take that insight and actually make that a competitive advantage, or an employee enabler, or a talent enabler, a retention tool, anything that's sort of giving you that edge.
So there's a big push from the customer point of view to get onto this new technologies. At the same time, they want to maintain the propriety of their information. So that's when we come in.
Stantive really represents the recognition of the complexity of the enterprise with the simplicity and the natural ability for people to communicate and collaborate through social media. So if you can take those two realities but bring those together in a context that's completely unique to the user who's coming and using those systems and that information, then what you do is you remove barriers and complexity from those users' existence.
What we've done is we've taken the three: access, security, and personalization. And from this, we've created a new platform, the Stantive platform. This becomes the next definition of SaaS in the cloud environment.
Social media has so far left enterprises behind. It took all of the technologies that we used to have to learn and pushed all of that learning into the background and just enabled people to very naturally, over the course of their day, connect with each other seamlessly. They might be sitting at their desk in the morning, they might be on their mobile device in the afternoon, they might be sharing a status update, they might be uploading a photo, but all of those things are happening in a way that doesn't require any training, it doesn't require any thought, really, it just becomes part of your daily routine.
When we think about Orchestra CMS and that capability to unleash aspiration in an enterprise or in an organization, what it really boils down to is moving beyond the idea of technology as a user experience and recognizing that the technology is really only needs to be viewed as an enabler for a human experience.
You can now get access, provide the security and personalization of content to specific people.
So those people who are coming to that site should just as easily be able to find information, interact with that information, interact with their colleagues who are also sharing that context. I think social and collaboration are reorganizing the way we think about companies. What Stantive does is we move collaboration into the infrastructure, and all that does is enable people to rally around ideas, around information, around operations, and collaborate with each other in a very natural way like we would on Facebook or Twitter. If that's done as easily as we use Facebook, then I think what you've done is revolutionized the way enterprises operate. It is a massively competitive weapon.